Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'm going to be potting up my elephant foot vine here. So this is my elephant foot vine. It's just coming out of dormancy, as you can see. It's got a nice stem just coming on it here. That's only been there about a week, so it's growing pretty quick at the moment. And you can see here kind of growth bands. It's got lovely kind of growth pattern on it. Done quite well for me. I got it as just like a kind of that kind of size, kind of more like a ping pong ball. Now it's got quite big, so it needs to go into a new pot. I have repotted this previously, but this time I'm going to give it on quite a big pot, because every time it grows faster and faster each time, and I'm expecting it to put a huge amount of growth on this time because there's such a big cortex here, so plenty of stored energy, so it's going to put a lot of growth on, so it needs a decent sized pot. So previously this has been potted up in peat based compost with a lot of added perlite to help with the drainage. I'm now switching to a loam based compost. So this is John Innes number 3, which is a loam based compost. Still has a bit of peat in there, but it's got quite a lot of feed in it as well, being a John Innes number 3. And I've added lots and lots of perlite as well, because it needs to be free draining. That's the main thing with this plant. It really is a succulent, so it needs to be in a free draining medium. Now the reason I'm repotting it now is because it's just starting to come into growth, and you can see it's got active growth on its roots as well, so it's a good time to repot it. If I was to repot this whilst it was in full growth, it would probably be a bit stressed, and it would damage the plant a bit because you disturb the roots, and it would be having a lot of foliage on the top half, so it would be very hard to repot anyway because there'd be a lot of growth on it. As the top half of this plant, it gets really quite large. Yeah, and the reason I didn't do it whilst it was completely dormant is because when you repot a plant and it's dormant, the roots aren't going to go into the compost, so the compost stays really wet and sodden, and if any of this stayed wet and sodden, it would probably rot away. So this is the perfect time for me to do this. So as I say, I'm repotting it up into loam based compost, which has got plenty of drainage in it. So I'm just going to check the height now, see how it looks, and that's probably about right, to be honest. It's about right kind of height for what I'm needing it. So I'm just going to sprinkle this in, and it's important that I don't cover the cortex, because that can encourage a bit of rot. So I'm just firming it gently down now. Don't want to push it down hard, because that will get rid of the drainage and the air spaces in this compost, and it will inhibit the growth. So I'm just planting it there with the cortex just above the soil. I don't want to bury the cortex, as I say, but I do want it to be in contact with the soil. So you can see there just the edges, so that if any new roots do start growing down, they're going to come straight into the compost and not just go into air. So that's it repotted. Should do quite well in that pot. The next thing is because it's going to grow, it needs something to climb along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use bamboo canes like I did last year. So last year I just made a cross shape, so it was just like this, and then a piece coming across like that. But what happened with that is it really wasn't big enough, it was really congested. So what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to put in several more bamboo canes. I think I'm going to do maybe 3 or 2 to begin with at the bottom. Probably just the 2. So there we are, that's the plant support finished. As you can see, it's very stable, very strong, really well tied together, so it should last for the whole 3 or 4 months that this thing's going to be growing on it. Might even last 6 months, I don't know how long this thing's going to be growing for this year. It varies each year. Sometimes the growth phase is maybe only a few months, other times it's almost a year. So we'll see how long this growth phase lasts. This will be completely covered, I'm sure of it, and in fact I may need to extend this to make it even larger still. So this main shoot will come up, it will probably grab onto one of these two, tends to spin around. I'll give you a little time lapse at the end of a previous video I did last year when this was growing, and it will spin around, hit a piece, spiral up, and then start putting out side shoots. So I might need to actually make it wider at the top here. The main limiting factor will be my window. The window that I normally keep this on is quite a narrow window, it's only probably about this wide. So you know, if I make this wider, it's not going to be able to really cover the whole thing, but I might make it a bit taller, wider if I can make it wider. I just need to measure my window. Plus I might get some smaller pieces maybe to try and cover more of the interior. When it grows up, if it leaves a big kind of bare space in the middle, I may just put on some smaller ones just to bridge the gap, or if it needs help climbing up, maybe some diagonals as well, but I don't think the diagonals will be needed. So I'll leave it like that and see how it does, and I'll give you guys an update in a few weeks time when it's growing. As you can see, it's just coming to growth now, and generally when these elephant foot vine plants come to growth, they put on a lot of growth really fast. So I'm expecting this to completely cover this support within probably about a month or two.